Well, it's been a while since I did a video. I hope everyone's having a good start to 2024. I've been meaning to do this particular video for quite a while, but I was just waiting for the inspiration to strike. And this week the inspiration struck when I bought this copy of Girls, Girls, Girls. On the face of it, just another Victor pressing from late 62, 63, 64, something like that. But when I saw this particular copy online, I noticed something about the labels that told me that it was actually a very rare late Victor pressing. And that's what we're going to be looking at in this video. 2 or 3 slight subtle things that you can look for on the labels that will help you differentiate an earlier pressing from a later pressing. So let me show you what I saw. I don't know how well this is going to show up, but let's see if we can do it. So this is the label. Again, it looks just like a standard Victor label. There we are. So if you look at the grooves on the label there, so on the outside there you've got this kind of deep groove, and then there's another one on the inside there which is about 3 centimeters in diameter. And it was that one there, that little circle in the middle. It's not so much a groove, more like a circle. And it was that told me that this is a very, very late and also very rare copy of Girls, Girls, Girls. In actual fact, this one was pressed in, I think it was June of 1970. Yeah, June 1970. So you can actually tell how when a record was pressed if you've got the record in front of you. And if you want to know how to do that, you can get hold of that book there right behind me. Well, that's just the cover. I threw all the pages away. So that label there, those labels told me that it was, like I said, a very rare pressing. So I'll just show you what an earlier pressing looks like. And this one that I have here is actually just from a couple of years before, 1968. But if you look at the grooves there, you can see that you've still got that big groove on the outside there, that deep groove there. But the one close to the center hole there, that little circle there, it's only about 2 centimeters in diameter, whereas the one on the 1970 pressing is about 3 centimeters. So most of the 1960s records, they had that small circle there, like I say, about 2 centimeters in diameter. This one is from 1968, so yeah, they used it for quite a while. With that particular copy of Girls, 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 there were some other differences which I was able to check to confirm that I was indeed looking at a late copy. So let's have a look at those differences. Let's have a look at the lyric sheets first of all. So this album always came with a lyric sheet in the 60s and in the early 70s. So if you look at the one on top there, you can see it's just got 2 catalog numbers in the right corner. The top one is the stereo number, and the bottom one is the mono number. Even though the mono one was no longer available by the 1960s, they were still printing it. So this is the one that came with the copy that I just bought. The lower one, this is the lyric sheet that came with the one from 1968, and this one actually has the 3rd catalog number. The one at the bottom is the catalog number of a copy of Girls, Girls, Girls that came with a box set in the mid-1960s. So that's another difference between the two. And then there's a couple of noticeable differences on the back as well. Let's put them that way up. So if you look at the Japanese text at the top here, this is the title of the album in Japanese. If I just get those lined up there. So if you look at the one on the bottom, you can see that the text is shorter. It sort of stops here, whereas the one on the top is a little bit longer. That's because the title of the album changed in Japanese. So the one on the top, the earlier one, it reads Garuzu, Garuzu, Garuzu. And the one on the bottom just reads Garu, Garu, Garu. So in Japanese you can use the word girl for one girl or more. It doesn't really matter. But the reason why they changed it is, well, I assume they changed it to match the movie title. The movie title was Garu Garu Garu. So that's another thing that was different. And then another thing that was different was at the bottom here. The early sleeves have a price. This one here from 68 actually has, it's got a price sticker, but it has the original price underneath there as well. But the one from 1970 here, there's no price sticker at the bottom. So there's a lot of differences between those two. But as I say, it was the labels that told me that it was a different, the version that I was looking for. It's number, if you have this book, by the way, it's version 4 in that book, if you want to know what I'm talking about. And then in 1971, the following year, it came out actually on RCA, still with the same number. Same back cover, more or less same back cover. It's lost the Victor logo. And it uses the same title as the one from 1970. And it's got the price on there again. Whoops, I did have before I dropped it. And it's on RCA. And the lyric sheet is now on white paper, and it's only got the stereo catalogue number. So I can show you another album from that period. This is Elvis's Golden Records from 1970. Just to show you what I'm talking about again with that little circle or groove. There you go. So if you look in the middle of the record there, you can see it's got that wider groove circle in the middle, about 3 centimeters in diameter. And just to show you a fairly late record with the older design, this is a copy of Gold Records Volume 4. This was from July 68. And if you look in the middle there, it's got that smaller circle, about 2 centimeters in diameter. So another label design, another groove you can look out for. A groove. Look out for the groove. Goes all the way back to 1961. Blue Hawaii. This is one of the first copies of Blue Hawaii. And what they were doing, or one thing you can look out for to identify records pressed in 1961, again, is the grooves on the labels. So this one here has no outer groove. It doesn't have that deep groove on the outside. But you can see it's got a very deep groove in the center. You could roll a coin around that thing. Looks to be about 2.5 centimeters in diameter. But it's noticeably wide, deep. And you can also find that pressing ring on copies of His Hand in Mine and Something for Everybody. So that will identify a fairly early copy for you, even without looking at the record itself. So I'll show you another copy of Blue Hawaii. Basically the same cover. This one is from 62, May 62. The first one was December 61. And this one, just from a few months later, you can see now that it does have that deep groove on the outside and that small ring on the inside. And just another couple of records I've pulled out to show you things you can look out for on the labels. Got a couple of singles here. One of these I've just got in, so it's kind of appropriate. So here is Blue Christmas and Silent Night. This was the last Japanese Elvis single released in the 1950s, October 1959. So again, we're focusing on the label design, but just to show you what the insert looks like. There are differences on the insert, but let's just look at the labels. So if you look on the right side there, you'll see it says SS series. And then if we take a look at another copy that I have, slight differences on the back. And the label here, you can see it says SS series, but it also says side 1 and side 2. This is side 1 and the other one was side 2, right? So that lettering, that numbering system wasn't introduced until the Return to Sender single at the end of 1962. So anytime you see a single with side 1 and side 2 on the labels, you know that it's going to be post 1963. It could be much later than 63, but it's not going to be before 1963. In this particular case, this particular single, it's 65. So those are some things that you can look out for just to give you an idea of when records were pressed. Even if you don't have the record in front of you, you can tell sometimes just by looking at the design of the labels. But I'll leave it there for this week. It's been a while. I feel out of practice. Any questions or comments, just drop them in the comment section below. But as ever, thanks for watching. Cheers. 皆さんこんにちは。今回はビクターの60年代のラベルについていくつかのポイントをピックアップして話したいと思います。最近このアルバムをネットで買いまして、前ジャケを見ると62年のオリジナルに見えますけど、ラベルと裏ジャケはオリジナルと違って、これは実は70年のプレスです。ビクターだけど70年のプレスです。で、ラベルの写真を見たらすぐ分かりました。あ、最後のプレスだとすぐ分かって、急いで買いました。じゃあ、ラベルから見ましょう。その前のプレスから見ましょう。これ、68年のプレスですけど、62年バージョンと同じラベルのデザイン。外側に溝ありますね。そして穴の周りに円が見えますよね。直径2センチぐらいの円があります。溝じゃないですけど、円と言えるでしょう。これは62年から、この68年のプレスぐらいまで使われたと思います。で、この間買ったのは、ちょっと違います。外側にやっぱり溝がありますけど、その穴の周りの円は直径3センチぐらいもあります。こういうのは70年のビクターのプレスということです。この1枚だけじゃなくて、他の70年のプレス何枚も持っています。全部こういうデザインですね、ラベル。スタンパーに関係ありますね。後でもう1枚見せます。じゃあちょっと裏ジャケを見ましょう。これ68年のものです。というか68年のプレスについていたジャケ。もしかしてその前に印刷されたものですけど。下に定価が印刷されています。そしてその上に1750円のステッカーが貼ってあります。で、タイトルはガールズガールズガールズですけど、最近買ったものはガールガールガールですね。映画のタイトルと同じ。そして定価がないです。なかなか珍しいバージョンですよ。で、翌年、71年、RCA 版が出ました。で、実は、RCA もその真ん中の円のところは直径3センチぐらい。 最後のビクタープレスと同じです。じゃあ他の2枚を見ましょう。こちらは70年のゴールデンレコード。真ん中の丸いところは直径3センチぐらいもあります。で、68年のゴールドレコード第4種ですけど、外側の溝と2センチぐらいの丸いところがありますね。穴の周りに。これは60年代の通常のデザインです。まあ、62年から68年ぐらいまで。で、ガール、あるいはガールズ。まあ、62年12月に、リリースされたと思いますけど、その前の年、61年にブルーハワイが出ましたよね。そして、その61年にまた違うラベルのデザインが使われています。で、こちらは最初のブルーハワイのプレスです。外側の溝がないです。だけど、真ん中に、まあ 2.5 センチぐらいの、直径2センチぐらいの溝があります。つまりそのいつもの深い溝は外側じゃなくて中の方にあります。で、歌の贈り物と、なんだっけ、心のふるさとも、同じバージョンあります。ファーストプレスですね。こっちがポイントですね。この真ん中の溝。61年の12月のプレス。翌年の62年バージョンもありまして、やはりこういうデザインですね。外側の溝と真ん中の2センチくらいの丸いところ。じゃあそういうふうにアルバムのラベルの写真をよく見ると、61年のプレスと70年のプレス、すぐ見分けることができると思います。で、最後に、シングルのラベルのデザインの話ですけど、最近このブルークリスマスとサイレントナイトの1枚を買ったんですけど、これはオリジナル59年の10月のリリース。エルビスの最後の50年代のシングルでしたよね。で、右側よく見てください。SS シリーズと書いてありますけど、もう一枚も持ってます。このもう一枚のラベルに、右側に SS シリーズだけじゃなくて、サイド2とサイド1も印刷されています。このデザインは、心に届かぬラブレターからスタートされました。つまり62年の最後の方でしたよね。で、これリリース、再リリース、というか再プレスで、とにかく63年以降だと判断できます。このサイド1とサイド2が印刷されているものは63年以降のものです。実はこれ65年のものです。じゃあ今回は以上ですね。ビクターのラベルのデザインの話。何か質問かコメントがありましたら、ぜひ下の方に入れてください。はい、ありがとうございました。